The holiday season is upon us, and so are all the careful considerations of buying presents, hosting parties, and reaching out to neighbors, families, and friends. So what better way to celebrate the season than with a Melanie Minute that provides you with a quick step-by-step planner on how to make the best of the season by making it merry, inclusive, and accessible. In this Melanie Minute, host Melanie Taddeo shares tips and easy-to-follow steps on how to make sure your festivities are as merry and bright as they can be. Enjoy this episode and have a safe and happy holiday season.
As the holiday season approaches, there's a lot of excitement happening. People are looking forward to the holiday season, getting together with friends and family, gift buying, parties, all of that fun stuff. And sometimes this is the happiest time of the year for many, many people. But for others, it can be some of the most difficult. Loneliness and inaccessible and exclusion happens in this time of year as well. In fact, for people with disabilities, this can be a very stressful time of year. First of all, not all parties or events are accessible. They're not being included, perhaps, thinking of all the great activities that can be happening at a Christmas outing or party. So, this episode is going to talk a little bit about what we can do to make sure our holiday events, parties, excursions are inclusive and accessible. First thing you want to consider is who is on your guest list. Are you inviting people of all abilities, of all experiences? Is there somebody in your family that has a disability? Maybe it's a, a grandparent, a parent, a sister, aunt, an uncle, whoever it might be, even a child. Making sure that there are opportunities for not only for them to get to the location safely and confidently. So this doesn't mean that people are going to carry a wheelchair up the stairs or down the stairs to get to an event. This means that they independently can access and enter the location on their own or with a little bit of assistance. But also, what is the lighting like? Is it dark? Is it bright? Is it easy to see? And what's happening at these events? Is there a lot of stimulus going on, lots of music, lights, all those things? And do you have a space that perhaps if the sensory overload is too much, so somebody can go for some downtime? I know when I go to a family event, it can be very loud and very ruckus. And as much as we love that for a short period of time, that can be very draining for many people with disabilities. So having quiet space where they can go and just take a deep breath, maybe have a few minutes to themselves is also something to be very important. Making sure that the food being served considers all the dietary needs of people being invited, whether it's people who are vegetarian or vegan, or perhaps it's even about making sure that the food is easy to eat for people with disabilities. Finger foods are great if you can use your fingers. Soup, wonderful if you can use the spoon and feed yourself. Again, considering all these different things may seem so simple, but for people with disabilities, this may make or break a good experience. Obviously, getting to know what your guests require, understanding what their needs are, will help you when planning a menu, but also ensuring that the individual being invited feels comfortable to perhaps bring a support person, or if you have a family member that's willing to assist with cutting somebody's food, serving them if it's a buffet, that sort of thing, that will help go a long way. Understanding again their needs. Do they require a straw? We know a lot of straws have been kind of cut out of um, restaurants and things like that, but some people with disabilities require straws. So is that available? Is alcohol only being served, or is that an option? Is there something that's non-alcoholic being served if you're having a punch? Things like that, because people with disabilities are on medication, maybe they don't drink. All of these things can be considered. And then, of course, we have to talk about any event that involves outdoor activities. A lot of times what happens after a great meal, people want to go outside and play in the snow. They want to go out and have a game of football, whatever it might be. That's fine because a lot of people will want to participate. But are there other activities that people that maybe don't enjoy those activities can still feel included? Whether it's a trivia game, sitting around having conversation, listening to music, watching a movie, whatever it might be, but having different options, not just for people with disabilities, but also for those that have different interests. There's nothing worse than going to a party and feeling as if you're excluded. Including everybody, it's a lot of work. So planning ahead will make sure that you're including everybody's needs, but also having a great time. The other thing that is something a lot of people don't consider is sensory. So the smells. Christmas, we have food, smells, oh, yum, yum, the turkey, the baking, all that. But a lot of people also light the scented candles, whether it's the pine, the cranberry, all the lovely scents, cinnamon. I love those scented candles, but there's a lot of people with scent disabilities that may actually make them feel like they're choking. A fragrance-free event is also something that a lot of people would appreciate. A lot of workplaces are now fragrance-free because of that disability. Again, an invisible disability that many people don't know about. And then, of course, considering the timing of your event, making sure it's not too early, not too late, somewhere in between so that everybody can have a part of something. That includes kids as well, making sure that we have a lot of different options and people. And again, this can be based on what who's on your guest list is looking for. There are so many activities happening in our communities over the holiday seasons, whether it's going for a sleigh ride, it's going Christmas caroling. There are so many things, concerts, different events. When you're planning any events for your friends and families, keep accessibility in the forefront. There are a lot of venues that are not yet accessible with stairs, don't have elevators, etc. Make this part of your consideration. Lighting is also something, and of course, how do people get there? We know there'll be drinking over the holiday season, so perhaps having a game plan for a drive so that nobody's drinking and driving. This is something also to take into consideration. As I mentioned at the beginning, sometimes the holiday season can be very stressful and also very lonely. Doing check-ins on our neighbors, our friends, and family to make sure that they're okay in this holiday season. Although they may be surrounded by people and noise and activities, they may be feeling down and blue. Perhaps they don't have family to spend the holidays with. There are lots of activities and ways that you can volunteer in your community to ensure that every person has somebody to spend some time with. Maybe it's a senior, maybe it's somebody um, that is in foster care. Finding ways that you can get involved in your community to make sure that people are feeling included in this holiday season is a great way to give back in the holiday season as well. But it's interesting. I always find this topic so important, but yet not talked about. Because even though we try our best to include everybody, always at some event, somebody is being left out. And now we have to think from the planning stages how we can include people, not just the holiday time, but also every event, every outing as we go along. This needs to become the norm. But I encourage you not to be disappointed or discouraged when planning your holiday events because this is the season to be jolly and making sure that everybody is celebrated. And I encourage you as you start to put the planning together and look forward to the holiday season, make sure you consider those accessibility and inclusivity components, making sure that we all are trying our best to include everybody. To each and everybody, wishing you a beautiful holiday season and may you have good times, good food, and an inclusive and accessible holiday season. Until next time.
You have been listening to Connect for Life, the podcast. Connect for Life is a Canadian-based registered charity committed to eliminating barriers for people with disabilities. Visit connectforlife.ca and join us in helping people with disabilities become the champions of their growth stories.